Around the world, bridges are being built to improve transportation, create regional links, and most importantly, gouge everyone's pockets for that precious toll revenue. So, imagine what type of economic upside the bridges between Detroit, Michigan and Windsor in Canada bring to its nations. The profit has been amazing, but the infrastructure is buckling underneath the weight, which has led to the desire to build an even better crossing, named the Gordie Howe International Bridge. This bridge is set to push its engineers to the limit, as it will become the largest cable-stayed bridge in North America and the fifth longest one in the world. On this episode of Built a Billion, we'll uncover this bridge's construction and understand just why it's being built in the first place. The bridge is scheduled for completion in 2024 and will better connect the network between the US and Canada, improve border procedures, and increase capacity, all while expanding the trade between both countries. The mega project is a worthy endeavor, as the US and Canada already share the largest trading partnership in the world. In 2021 alone, the two countries racked up $664 billion worth of trade, Xing out China as the United States' biggest trading partner. The bridge that already exists between Detroit and Windsor accounts for 1/5 of this trade, and over $300 million worth of commodities are transported daily between the two cities, and the infrastructure is feeling the strain. Traffic is expected to increase from 18,500 vehicles per day to 26,500 vehicles by 2025. The Gordie Howe Bridge will look to alleviate this by offering a new artery for the traffic to flow through to go with its improved border procedures. It additionally will increase the effectiveness of transportation between Ontario, Quebec, and Eastern Canada, while boosting the local economy, creating 2,500 local employment opportunities. This bridge was proposed nearly 2 decades ago and is named after Canadian ice hockey player Gordie Howe, who played 25 years for the Detroit Red Wings and died 2 years before the bridge began construction. The project didn't always have this name, however. When conceptualized in 2004, it was named the Detroit River International Crossing and gained its approvals in 2007 and 2008. The Gordie Howe Bridge is now being developed through a public-private partnership between the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority and Bridging North America, and will be publicly owned by the governments of Canada and Michigan. In 2012, Canada declared funding for the bridge's construction and purchased $25 million worth of land in Detroit. The following year, Michigan was granted the permit required to build the bridge, and the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority was selected to operate the bridge. Parsons Corporation was selected to engineer the project in 2015, and by 2016, the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority was accepting proposals for bridge design, construction, financing, operation, and maintenance. Both President Trump and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gave their full support for the project and urged for a quick completion. In 2018, the consortium Bridging North America had been named as the construction company that would build the bridge. So let's talk about what makes up a bridge of this magnitude. But before we get into that, if you love to hear about all the mega projects of the world, please subscribe to the channel and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. It'll really help the channel out. The Gordie Howe Bridge is made up of 4 components. These consist of the bridge itself, the Canadian port of entry, the US port of entry, and the Michigan interchange. The Gordie Howe Bridge will run for 1.5 miles over the Detroit River and will be held up by cables that fan out directly from the 2 main towers that will bear the weight of the bridge. These two 220-meter tall A-shaped towers will be built on either side of the Detroit River, with a pair of 425-meter-long cantilevers constructed in the middle. These 2 towers are made to resemble hockey sticks in honor of the bridge's namesake, Gordie Howe. The tower legs, or pylons, have been under construction since 2019, and work has recently begun on the pylon head. During this process, cables will connect the tower to the bridge's deck, the deck which is slated to begin construction in 2023. The bridge itself will consist of 6 motor vehicle lanes, with 3 traveling to the US and 3 going into Canada. There will also be an 11-foot wide pedestrian and bicycle path. The project also includes building new ports of entry that will connect to the American and Canadian bridge terminals. The Canadian port of entry will be built in a 130-acre site and be the largest Canadian port on the US-Canadian border. The US site, on the other hand, will sit on 167 acres and be one of the largest border facilities in North America. Both ports will include inbound and outbound inspection facilities. As far as the Michigan Highway interchange, 5 new pedestrian walkways will be added, with 4 new overpasses. Intersections will be widened to better connect I-75 and the US port of entry. So how much will everything cost? After building, maintenance, and rehab phases, you're looking at $4.4 billion. $2.9 billion of that will go toward designing and construction, while the remaining $1.5 will go towards operations and maintenance. This project is a joint venture, but you may be surprised to know that Canada is footing the entire bill. But don't worry, Canadians. Toll booths will be installed only on the Canadian side, where investors plan to make back that investment. But there are some annoying obstacles in the way. There are still some privately owned toll bridges across the Detroit River, like the almost century-old Ambassador Bridge, located within miles of the Gordie Howe Bridge. Manuel Morone owns this bridge and has repeatedly tried to thwart the new bridge's development, citing trespassing on his family's land. But the real reason is that the new bridge would take 75% of the Ambassador Bridge's profit. When the new bridge was announced in 2004, he wasted no time suing both the US and Canada for millions of dollars, proposing a second bridge of his own. He even recently penned a TV ad to Donald Trump, asking him to stop construction of the Gordie Howe Bridge. Bridge drama aside, the Gordie Howe Bridge has the opportunity to improve one of the most important and lucrative border crossings on the planet. What do you think about this mega project? Let me know in the comments below, folks. In the meantime, click a video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen, and thanks for visiting Built a Billion.